Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Oddleif Stensland from Communic, Skyping in from Norway tonight. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm doing awesome. How are you? How are you doing?
I am doing really, really good. It's a little earlier in the evening over here than over there, but it's all good. It's dark on both sides.
Yeah, that's for sure. Here it's close to midnight now, so yeah, getting darker.
Yeah. Here to talk about your new album, Hiding from the World. It's coming out November 20th on AFM Records. This is your sixth studio album. I've heard an advance copy, killer stuff. You've got to be anxious to get this out to the world.
Yeah, we have been working for a long time. Yeah, getting it ready. So it's always good when you have new material ready and ready to show it to the world.
Yeah.
That's something. Yeah, we look forward to. Yeah.
I always like to start with both the cover art and the title to the album. Travis Smith did the cover art, correct?
Yeah, Travis Smith, yes.
Had you worked with him before?
No, we haven't. So we have used several different artwork or artists before. So this was the first time we hooked up with Travis Smith, and it's have been like a dream for me to actually work with him. But there was some point where I thought about contacting him and see if we could do something together, but I didn't dare to until now. So it was like, yeah, it was like a dream come true when he answered my email and said that he would love to do it, and worked out the concept together. So it was great.
Now, okay, that's what I was going to say. The both of you came up with the concept. What's the story behind the image that's on the cover? It's fascinating.
Yeah, I think it's cool. Well, I had some basic ideas about what I wanted to see, and he got the lyrics for the album, and because I kind of like when the artist is getting their own ideas out of from reading the lyrics instead of me telling what. So he got some basic ideas about what I wanted to, what I had in mind, and he came up with the rest. And I think he nailed it pretty well. And so it's kind of this image of a statuette or something, figure in stone overtaken by earth with the branches and the stuff that kind of claiming it back to the earth, if you understand what I mean, and
sure,
and it's kind of decaying, and you also see that one of the branches had like this one new leaf, like it's kind of giving hope. There's always hope, so there's kind of symbolizing that even though everything is kind of dark and empty and hopeless, there is always hope.
Definitely. Yeah. Now, Hiding from the World, did that title come about pre or post COVID-19?
Yeah, that was like actually a long time ago, way before this situation that we are up in now, because that song, the title track, Hiding from the World, was the first song that we started putting together for this album. And so that goes back like 1.5 years, maybe 2 years prior to now, and it was actually just starting out as a working title for that song, because the first line in the song is "Let me hide from the world today," and it was kind of just we just stuck by that title. And also when we was working on putting these songs together, we was. That was also before this COVID situation, and we was, in our situation now, we with daytime jobs and families and all the stuff that goes on in the normal life, it's kind of difficult to find time to dedicate to getting together as a band and just play together. So we was when we started to rearrange the songs for this album, we was getting ourselves like out of the normal day situations, and we even at one point we was traveling away to a cabin and was there for the whole weekend and just, we brought the studio gear into this cabin and was kind of distancing ourselves from abstractions. So it was a cool thing, and that song was kind of arranged in a situation like that, and also a lot of the ideas behind some of the other songs came out of that situation of finding time, dedicating time to be together as a band, and because as I said, it's difficult to find time to dedicate to get together.
Yeah. I want to get into a few of the tracks on the album. Actually, I made some notes on a couple of them, but the first thing I wanted to ask you, I read in a previous interview you've done, you do all the vocals on the album, of course, and you were a singer sort of by chance. You became a singer by chance because, was it this band or some of the other bands that you were in, you either didn't find the singers you wanted or nobody sounded right, so you said, well, to heck with it, I'll step up to the mic and do this.
Where I live, there's not that many musicians at all. So in the early days when I was starting to putting bands together, and we was kind of, like Eric, the bass player, we have played together for a long time. He was one of the first guys that started to play with me in the beginning, and I was so bad at singing, it was like horrible. And we was constantly looking for vocalists, and everyone was kind of, we need to find somebody who can really sing, but we never found anyone. And I just think that in a way I got used to it, because I hated to hear my own voice when we were singing, but I was constantly writing songs and I was singing with the voice that I had, and everything was kind of, but in the end, it's kind of, I learned to find some power in there. I figured it out in a way. I think it was a lot of practice and a lot of singing that made me be confident in my own ability to sing, and I'm still working on it. I've never taken any classes to learn techniques or whatever, but now I'm more confident in listening to myself and hearing myself sing after I recorded it and stuff that I hated in the beginning. And I have some recordings that goes way back, even from studio where we recorded demos and stuff, and it's awful. But in the end, I just learned I think I figured it out, how to express myself, where I could find the power, because it was something lacking in the performance, and I think it's cool. And also in the beginning of around 2000, I joined another local band called Scariot, where I was only focusing on doing vocals. So during that 2 or 3 years that I was playing with that band, we also released an album that is pretty cool. And that during that time when I was only focusing on singing and kind of learning that without thinking about playing guitar at the same time, I think I figured something out that was like to the positive of doing it. But I understand that my singing is not for everyone. It's the way I sing, and I've learned to live with it. But
I thought you did a fine job. You've got like a unique voice and a unique cadence to your voice when you're singing, that I thought, kind of makes you one of a kind. I'm trying to think if I could even compare you to anybody, but I really can't. Did you have any influences on the way? Anybody you tried to emulate, or did you just try and come up with your own style?
Of course, I tried to doing vocals is like different than just changing your guitar amp or whatever to get a different sound. So you have those vocal cords, and you have the power, and you have the resonance that your body is making. So everyone is kind of sounding different. So if I tried to sound like Dio, it wouldn't be sounding like Dio, because he was like unique in his way.
Yeah.
And I understand that it's difficult for people to compare me to, because I'm coming from the I guess the early American thrash scene, like the 90s early Megadeth, Testament, and stuff like that, and going into the progressive, like Fates Warning kind of music that was interesting to me. And I kind of just think that have mixed my influences in that way. I know a lot of people compare me to Dane and Nevermore, and I think that is more in the character, I think, about expressing feelings and emotions and stuff like that. I think, but that is maybe the closest that people can kind of, or in that direction of progressive power metal. And so it's not easy to describe, but I think I've tried to just be me, and hopefully people will see that. Yeah.
I thought your vocal, the word that I could come up with to try and describe it for me was very regal sounding. Kind of in sort of a Dio, Ronnie had that way of singing that just made everything sound sort of majestic. And, I think you're in that same vein. You don't sound like him, but your approach to it, I think, that would be another word I would use, regal, majestic, something like that.
Well, that's cool. I don't know what it is, but I'm putting a lot of effort into trying to mean what I'm saying. So it's trying to reach out or whatever, get my soul into what I'm trying to say. Because and sometimes if I'm working with a producer, sometimes they are picky about reaching the right note or whatever, and they try to make you perform better or do a cleaner voice or whatever to hit those perfect notes. But then I tend to forget about what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to sing, and forget about the actual performance. Then I focusing on reaching the right note or singing it perfect, and then suddenly some of the magic is gone. And so you can overproduce things and you can fix too much, and there's a lot of different aspects about cleaning it up. But I think I'm looking for the performance. I'm looking for the moment of where you kind of hit the nerve in the words and the lyrics.
Right. And that nerve doesn't have to be in perfect pitch and the perfect note,
That depends on who you ask.
Exactly.
Sometimes I feel that if you tune it too perfectly or fix it too much, some of that edge or nerve is kind of disappearing.
Right. First track is Plunder of Thoughts. I love some of your titles, and this was one I really liked, and I like that line, heart is cold, but it burns. Great stuff. Can you tell us a little bit about Plunder of Thoughts?
Yeah, cool. That is a song. Well, the title actually came up one night because I'm one of those guys that don't fall easily to sleep. I spend a lot of time. I go to sleep or go to bed, but then I spend a lot of time overthinking or thinking about stuff that has happened, or lyrics or melodies, or so it's every night is like my head is like a plunder of thoughts of a mess. So before, sometimes I even have to go up again and record some of the stuff that I'm thinking about, and just to get it out of my head and to be able to kind of fall to sleep. So it's so it's a song about questions in my head about even some religion thoughts about stuff like, if there's a God, why can't he just fix this COVID stuff? Just get it away. And there's Plunder of Thoughts. It's a cool song, and it also it's one of the heaviest songs on the album, I think, with a really diverse rhythm pattern going on through the whole song.
Next track is Hiding from the World, of course, the title track. I love the way there was some sort of like subtle moments in this song, and I also love the way the drums were in this song. I thought that was very fantastic. What's the name of your drummer again? I wrote him down, but I can't even read my own writing.
His name is Tor Atle.
Okay.
Tor Atle. Yeah, he's a really dynamic player. He's actually more aggressive drummer than he actually gets to show in Communic, maybe, because he's like he's more into the more modern, groovy, faster drumming kind of thing. But he has always loved the stuff that we have done here as well, because we have been together now for 17 years. So I guess he likes what we do. So yeah, and it's actually, this song, the title track, is a pretty mellow song. It's actually starts with the drums and kind of builds up from there. And I think it's cool. It's almost 10 minutes of dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great stuff.
Yeah, cool. Glad you like it.
Yeah, definitely. My Temple of Pride. Is there a little bit of a biblical reference in here with the flood and everything? You mentioned religion and before, and you know how you sometimes had thoughts. Was that sort of the background for this song, or am I reading too much into it?
No, it's more about standing up for your own rights when everything is like storming around you, and when all hell breaks out, you have to protect yourself and your values. And if religion is your thing, I think you should cherish it and value it as much as you want. But it's more like in this perfect life that we live with this Instagram and Facebook, and everyone is kind of showing off their perfect life. And to me, it's more about, you don't need to share everything, and you should cherish the moments you have with your family and everything. But there is sometimes we experience that everything falls apart and everything is like trying to ruin your goal, or so you should trust in yourself and go the direction that you want and be proud of what you believe in. So that is my Temple of Pride, is that kind of song about trusting your own beliefs and wherever. I'm not a religion person, but I have questions about it, and I often put that into my lyrics as thoughts to myself, or questions to myself about existence and inheritance and wherever. So
Very cool. Face in the Crowd. The thing that really jumped out to me on this song is I am a guitar solo guy, and I thought the guitar solo in this song was absolutely brilliant. And then I read where you kind of have no musical education, you're self-taught on everything, never took guitar lessons or anything?
No, that's true. Well, I'm not a solo guitar dude. I'm trying to avoid solos if I can. I've always been. I remember early before I started to play guitar myself, and I was listening to other bands. When the solo came, I always skipped. So, but of course, I think it's cool with the guitar solos now, but I don't put the solos into my songs if they don't fit in, if they don't have anything to say. So, and often when I'm thinking guitar solos and I'm sitting down and writing a guitar solo into my song, if I feel that I need it, I sometimes try to sing it, and the melody of the solo is more important than like the shredding guitar kind of thing. Maybe because I've never actually bothered to sit down and learn it, because I have used the guitar as a tool to write songs, because I don't consider myself as a good guitar player as well. So I'm using the guitar as a tool to write down the songs that I have in my head. So for me it's just like a hammer to get the nail into the wood.
Right.
So that is how I see the guitar kind of thing, and so there is a few solos on the album. It's not difficult stuff. It's easy, like singable melodies that I think have something to say. And sometimes I wish I could do like real shredding kind of things, but I've never bothered about it. I've never found time to study the technique or whatever. So yeah, I'm just playing what I hear in my head, and I try to sit down and get use the guitar as a tool, actually. So that is me playing with other people, that coming with notes and everything. I need to hear what to play together with people. And Eric, my bass player, he is the same way. We are like, we don't write things down. We just play and feel it.
Very cool. I want to jump now to the last track. I gave you my last track test, and you passed brilliantly, because this is my favorite track on the whole album, Forgotten. To me, that song sort of pulled everything together. It was just like when you get to like the final scene in a movie or the final chapter of a book, and when you get it done, you're like, that was great, you know? It just sort of pulled it all together. And that's how that whole song worked for me. Did you design that to be the last track, or did it just sort of fall that way in the sequencing?
No, I understand it when we was kind of putting these songs together, that was not an opening track, and it was not like a middle track, and it had to be like the ending of the album. And I think that was like obvious in this set of songs. That couldn't have been any other way. And it was actually, it was one of the songs that I actually never thought would end up on a Communic album. Because when I wrote that song, I thought it would just turn out to be a personal YouTube song where I'm sitting with an acoustic guitar and just singing it or playing it on my channel. That was what I thought that would be. But then the other guys was hearing it or hearing the ideas that I had for it, and when they added their stuff on top of it, and we kind of built it up from that intro and the acoustic intro and into like the verses and build it up, because it's a really simple song. It's just like 2 chords or something. 10 minutes it's really simple, but it's so complex in dynamics and emotions and expressions. So that is what is building that song up, and I never actually thought it would be a song that would. I always liked the idea that I had in the bottom of the core structure of the chords, but I didn't know if it would turn out as good. And it's one of my favorites on the album as well. I had a friend down in Mexico I have done with some projects with before, and he was fixing the orchestration on that song and doing it all just over the internet. And that is also the only song on this album that has that kind of arrangements done with strings and stuff on top of it. So it turned out pretty well, I think. Yeah, and also I think the lyrics for it is quite cool as well, because it's not as dramatic as some of the other ones, but the story here is dealing about that in a normal day situation, if all the good things that you do in life is often pretty fast forgotten. And if you do one tiny mistake, you will hear about it for the rest of your life. So it's like pretty interesting to think about. And I also thought about it here when you are talking with other people, for example, at lunch, at work. Everything that people is talking about is the negative side of a story. They never tell the good side, the positive side. If people is talking about something, it's tend to be the negative stuff that is kind of remembered. All the good things is pretty fast forgotten.
That is the truth. That is the truth. Definitely.
Yeah.
Want to take you back in time a little bit, ask you to see if I've got some of this information right. Of course, I've read it on the internet, so it's got to be right, you know?
It's always right, yeah.
I understand your first concert you ever went to was Smokey?
Yeah, probably, because we are living in a small town here, all the way south in Norway.
Yeah.
And Smokey has always been like Norwegian band. they have always been like, especially in the beginning or in the middle of the 80s or something like that. It was really huge over here and was touring all over the place. So that was one of the first concerts, like big concerts that I went to. I think, yeah. So that's true.
Living Next Door to Alice is one of my favorite tunes ever, you know?
Yeah. So and we had some Smokey records lying around at home as well. So I played them often, actually. So yeah.
Great stuff. First band was named Xenon.
Xenon, yeah, there was some friends of me around, also in the same area. I was playing with them for like 2 weeks, I think, and they kicked me out. Yeah.
And then you went to, I think it was like Revival, and then followed that up with, is it Clairvoyant? Did I have that written right?
Yeah, Revival was also just one gig, and they kicked me out. I don't know.
You're setting a pattern here for yourself.
I don't know why, but I started playing guitar when I was 18. So I started a bit late, and I think that people thought that I was better than I was. I just fooled everyone to think I was okay. So I played that one gig with Revival, and I just understand that I need to do things on my own. I need to. So that was when I formed Clairvoyant, who was my first band, and that was where I met Eric, and Eric started to play bass together with me, and we have stuck together since that time. And what we are doing today in Communic is just the same thing that me and Eric started with Clairvoyant.
Nice.
And we ended up doing Clairvoyant, and that turned into Ingermanland, which was a different band. Me and Eric, it's the same thing, but just change of drummer. So every time we changed the drummer, we changed the name into something else. But I understand that I needed to do this on my own. I can't rely on other people to understand what I want, and probably the reason why the other guys or the first bands kicked me out was that I had some opinions about how I thought it should be, and maybe I wanted to change too much too fast. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the new album comes out a little over a week from now, about a week and a half from now, coming out once again on AFM Records. We're talking about the new Communic album, Hiding from the World, talking with Oddleif Stensland here. Where can we go to get that? I've got communic.org. Is that the band website? Can they order it from there?
Yeah, as soon as we get them from AFM. I haven't seen them myself yet, so we have some ordered, so that is like on the way, but I think the pre-orders are over at AFM, and I also think that Amazon have a pre-order or something over in the States. I don't know, but here in Europe, it's from AFM's official shop online. Yeah.
All right, very cool. Oddleif, I like to end my interviews with just some silly questions. I'm hoping these are questions that you've never been asked. Sound good?
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Favorite toy growing up as a child?
Well, that would probably be some RC cars or something like that. Yeah.
All right. Favorite superhero?
That's Superman.
All right. Now we'll go the opposite way. Favorite villain?
Villain, yeah. The Joker?
The Joker? Okay. Sounds good. If you could pick a television show to have a Communic song placed in, what show would you like to see it put in?
Ozark on Netflix.
Oh, wow. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Especially, if Marty's getting chased by some bad guys or something, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
What is something outside of music that you're good at? Are you like a good carpenter or a good gardener or anything like that, or is it strictly music for you?
No, I work as a graphic designer, so I do that, and then I would probably have done that even though if I didn't work with it. Okay. So yeah, stuff like that, computer graphic designs and. Yeah.
All right, very cool. Oddleif, I like to end my interviews with just some silly questions. I'm hoping these are questions that you've never been asked. Sound good?
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool. Given your choice of household chores, would you rather do the dishes or laundry?
I take the dishes.
The dishes? Okay. If you could go back in time and eat one of your mom's home-cooked meals from your childhood, what would you have her make?
It would probably be the pancakes.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Very
those
cool.
are always good. Still are.
What is the last piece of music other than one of your own that you listen to? A last song, a last CD, last album, something you streamed recently, other than your own? Who have you listened to?
Earlier today, I was listening to Sorcerer.
Nice.
Yeah, Swedish band.
Yep, good stuff. All right, last one. Excuse me, what were you going to say?
Yeah, indeed, good.
Yeah. Last one, and this is the one we have the most fun with. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actor would you have portray you in the movie? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
It's a really difficult one. What about Carrie? He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
Yeah.
So. All right, well, Oddleif, I wish you very, very much success in the future. What are the plans going forward? I mean, everything's so up in the air right now. You can't really tour. Do you have any other videos coming? What are the plans for Communic going forward once the album comes out?
Yeah, you never know. Well, everything is kind of shut down over here as well, especially when it comes to concerts and stuff. So we will have to see. But we have some ideas about maybe setting up some cameras and do live from the studio and maybe invite people into our sphere and just make it a little internet stream concert release party, something like that. I don't know if we can make it happen, but that is what we are looking into, and hopefully we can share some of it and invite people into the living room and just set up the gear and play and see how it turns out. So that's an idea, but we will have to see.
Yeah, a lot of bands are doing that. A couple of weeks ago, I stumbled across one on a Facebook live stream. It was Pat Travers, and it was phenomenal. It was great.
Yeah, but you don't get that live energy kind of thing that you are looking for when you're going to a concert. But I think it's a substitute for the things that we can't do now. And if we can set it up right with getting the sound as good as possible and with a limited kind of budget to make it happen, I think it would be a good thing to share with our followers and friends and whoever is interested in it, and of course make it as a free stream, whatever, on Facebook or YouTube, so people can check it out.
Sure, absolutely. Look forward to that. That would be very, very cool. I definitely would tune in for that. All right, Oddleif, thank you very much for your time tonight. Once again, talking with Oddleif Stensland here from Communic. New album is Hiding from the World. Comes out November 20th on AFM Records. You can get it at all your media outlets. Best of luck to you going forward. We're all hoping everything gets back to normal and you can get out there playing and we can get out there to watching you play. And it's the best we can do right now.
That would be awesome. Yeah. So, thanks for the support, lads, and stay healthy out there.
Absolutely. Take care. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.